Baraka Yahweh, Baraka Shai, Kala Yahweh, Shai, Bachel Kakadash, Germanic, the other apostle, great Muslim, who will, since their citations, the asking to put on the truth, a call to four corners of the earth, to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Shai, the hope of elect, and who the word inwardly called guidance in Yahweh, who the word inwardly called Jesus Christ and Yahweh Shai. In Hebrew Israelite that consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, the Native American Indian, those in line descendants go back to the 12 tribes of Israel, due to the gathering amongst the nations of the four corners of the earth. This is Bahari Khan from the Great Millstone Los Angeles camp, back with another lesson. And Abanawa Sadar, will and be edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Yahweh Kakadash, which is the Holy Spirit. Alright, and you have this article by NBC News. Trump keeps threatening to use the Insurrection Act. What is it? President Trump has said repeatedly he could invoke the 1807 statute, which gives the president the power to deploy the U.S. military domestically. Alright. And all these things that's been going on, especially in Chicago, is blowing up, heating up. It could be the angle to use this, all right? And he already spoke about how he wants troops in all these major cities, okay? The President Donald Trump suggested numerous times this week that he could invoke the sweeping presidential power granted by the Insurrection Act if necessary. It's been invoked before, Trump told reporters Tuesday, adding, "We want safe cities." Using the Insurrection Act was something Trump repeatedly suggested he might do in his first term, although he never really did. He never actually did. A spokeswoman for the White House, Abigail Jackson, said in a statement Tuesday that the president has exercised his lawful authority to protect federal officers and assets. President Trump will not turn a blind eye to the lawlessness plaguing American cities. Here, a look at what the Insurrection Act is and what it would enable the president to do. What is the Insurrection Act? First, look at the definition of insurrection. All right. A violent uprising against an authority or government. Rebellion. All right. Let's get the... Insurrection, uprising against civil, it's on AdamOnline.com. The uprising against civil authority, early 15th century. But that's correct. That is. Alright, got a rising up now of actions from past particles of insurrection to rise up. Insurrection. All right, one who rises in revolt against the government or its law. 1745. All right, rise up, lift oneself, rise against, stand high, gather forth from in against, or here perhaps merely intensive, plus third to rise. Third. All right, back to the article. While the military is generally barred from being deployed for domestic law enforcement without congressional authorizations, the Insurrection Act gives the President power to deploy the U.S. military domestically and to federalize National Guard troops during specific circumstances. It was signed into law by President Thomas Jefferson in March 1807. Has it ever been used before? Many times, but not in decades. George Washington used an earlier version of the law to stamp out the Whiskey Rebellion in 1792. President George H.W. Bush, Daddy Bush, was the last to use it during the deadly 1992 LA riots, following a request from the city's Democratic mayor and the state Republican governor. All right, what can trigger the use of the Insurrection Act? While one justification for invoking the act is clear that the president can take action if asked to do so by a governor or a legislator. The other standards mentioned in the statute are broad and vague, giving the president wide latitude. Whenever the president considers that unlawful obstruction, combination, or assemblage or rebellion against the authority of the United States make it impracticable to enforce the law of the United States in any state by the ordinary course of judicial proceedings, he may call into federal service such as the militia of any state and use such of the armed forces as he considers necessary to enforce those laws or to suppress the rebellion the statute needs. All right, and ICE going around and people going up against it, and in Chicago, they get very violent with it. That's a means of justification to invoke the Insurrection Act. All right, which is prophecy that these things will take place. All right, hey, we're in the time of Declaration chapter 15 and 16 being played out. All right, I mean it's coming into fruition. All right, coming to pass. All right, the prophecy are speaking. All right, that's right. Hey, they are faithful and true. They will truly happen. This is Declaration 15 verse 1. Behold, speak down in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. All right, the word we speak unto you, all right, has been given us by the Spirit to speak these things. And cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true with Scripture. Written thousands and thousands of years ago, but now we're able to read it, interpret it, and tell you what they mean. All right, and through faith, we know it's true. All right, that's right there, faithful and true. So we believe these things that's written therein before it happens. Okay, fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. I speak against thee, right, their unbelief. For all their unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Okay, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plague upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All these things are coming, the sword, which is a gun, Alright? And the Lord gonna use Edom with the gun to take you niggas out. Alright, famine, lack of food, nothing to eat. Death and destruction, ultimate judgment. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their purpose work are fulfilled. Alright. Alright. Let's keep going. Go back to the article. Let's jump down. Verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe is destruction. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. That's why you can have people fighting against each other, either for political view or race, whatever. People gonna be at odds. They're gonna be at different. Okay. Destroying and destruction shall nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, or with a gun. There shall be sedition, alright, among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their hand, shall stand in their power. Alright. Sedition. Sedition. This insurrection right here. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch, with the government. Alright, that's what this insurrection is. Okay. So this is prophecy that's going to take place. All right, starting with the other apostle of great millstone down, we were speaking of these things. That these things will take place. And here it is, it's right there. So I'm supposed to wake up tomorrow and be like, I invoking the Insurrection Act. And there it is. Part of the prophecy coming to pass. All right. For there shall be seditions among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their king or prince. They're not going to they're not going to care what the president, governors, they're not going to care what they're going to say. Okay? And of course, their actions shall stand in their power. They're going to have the power. All right, they're going to take over the mayor office, the governor office. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, right? Because the troop will come in, clear martial law, and shut it down. All right, so invoke the Insurrection Act, martial law. All right, shut the city down. Can't go nowhere. All right. Armed troop in the street. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. See? Okay, they already covered that. The pride. The man shall have no pity upon his neighbors, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, with their gun, and spoil their good because of the lack of bread. And for great tribulation, all right, great trouble, all right. That's pretty much it on that one. Okay. God said to come after the men of the Lord. All right, those in the faith. Mm-hmm. Let's see. That 15 verse 70, for there shall be in every place in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So they're going to come up against those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, fearing none, but still foiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their good and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. All right, you know that leads to chapter 2. All right, so we're going to the first as the birthday right now. Okay, so with that, let's say Shalom. All right, the Insurrection Act is fulfilling second chapter 15. Shalom.